Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is going to be a review of Final Battle 2010 live review. Before getting into the live show, I finally got to meet Big Rat tonight. Big Rat shocked the shit out of everyone and came in from Florida. And it was great to meet him. Got to meet Honor Hammer 26. Met a whole bunch of people from YouTube. I met Mr. Guns, Instant Classic G1, Sabutine Forever, Gilbert Blaze. Am I missing anyone? Monoxide as well. So yeah, met a whole bunch of people. It was a really good time. This is probably one of the best times I've ever had at a Ring of Honor show. Definitely better than the Glory of Honor experience by far for me. So let's get right into the show. We had Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly in the opening match taking on Kenny King and Red Titus, the All Night Express. This was an amazing opener. I would say this is probably one of the best openers of the year from any promotion. The thing about this was kind of like the Kurt Angle Frankie Kazarian match from Slammiversary. The opener was so hot. The rest of the card just had a very tough time following it, especially the first half of the show. The first half of the show, I admit, was kind of underwhelming. Besides the opening match, but yeah, this opener was awesome. King and Red Titus have improved so much. Watching this match, you could definitely like people have been saying they've improved. But like this match, you could see like they're really improving. It's not even without question. These guys are definitely ready to be, main eventers, and actually main event some Ring of Honor shows and have some great tag team matches. So yeah, they just hit a lot of awesome combination spots in this match. And Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, they really delivered. They really, the fans were really impressed with them. They came off looking like a legit, hot, up and coming, hungry tag team with a lot of vitality and a lot of energy was in this match. This is just an awesome opener. Kyle O'Reilly was actually very over in this match. A lot of people were very aware of him and his history with Davey Richards, so that helped the match as far as crowd reaction goes. So yeah, awesome opener, 4 stars without a doubt. And next up we have Colt Cabana versus TJ Perkins. I was kind of disappointed by this. Everyone was expecting like a nice scientific, European mat-based wrestling match. That's pretty much what it was. At times it felt very kind of wacky. A lot of people had a tough time paying attention to it. It was just tough to follow that first match. This was kind of, nothing special. Cabana got the win. A lot of people were speculating that if Cabana lost this match, this would kind of signal him, turning heel later on in the show, which did not happen. But, still an okay match. I was impressed with Perkins. Perkins didn't really get to show his full arsenal. Like, if you didn't know who TJ Perkins was before this match, you probably were not really sold on him after the match, which is kind of a shame because he's very talented. But pretty much a generic win for Colt Cabana. It's pretty much all I could say. This might have been the worst match of the night. I'm not really sure. And then we had the women's match. I think, yeah, probably the women's match was the worst match of the night. But like other people have said, a lot of people just don't give a fuck about women's wrestling. They're pretty much just giving up on it. Even in Ring of Honor, even in Shimmer, in my opinion, from the little bit of Shimmer that I've seen, I'm just, just not a big fan of women's wrestling. Probably the Minami Toyota shows from Chikara this year. That's pretty much the only, that's probably the highlight of women's wrestling in North America from 2010. But yeah, this match, I mean, there was a hot tag to Amazing Kong, which lasted about maybe like 20 seconds. It looked like it was starting to get really good. But Serena Deeb, I don't know, I just wasn't impressed with her. She doesn't have a lot of great wrestling abilities. So this match is very slow in the beginning. Just a very disappointing match. A lot of people, people say, Daizee Haze looked very skinny. That's pretty much what I can say about this match. There was a big CM Punk. Probably the best part of the match is there was a CM Punk chant when Serena Deeb was tagged into the match. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, pretty disappointing. You got Kong and Sara out there. You would think that they could have created some kind of magic, but all right. So next up, we'll move on to Eddie Edwards and Sonjay Dutt. Yeah, Omega not being on the show really hurt this first half, in my opinion. I feel like if Omega was there, I mean, really, this match. Yeah, I love Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards got a nice win over Sonjay Dutt. It was a good match, but at the same time, the winner in this match was Kenny Omega, because Omega proved that, if he was there, this definitely would have been a much better match, because it definitely kind of like under-delivered. You kind of were thinking about, the whole time watching the match, you were thinking, oh, how awesome would this be if Kenny Omega was actually in the match. However, give both these guys credit. Give Sanjay credit for, coming and giving a great match or a good performance on very, very short notice, because I thought he worked hard out there. I thought he did his job. I thought this was still pretty good. It was just the crowd was kind of dead. They weren't buying into a lot of the near falls, because no one thought Sonjay Dutt was going to win this match. And Kenny Omega, I'm sorry, Eddie Edwards. No, you could definitely see the improvement. I know Eddie Edwards actually, his clavicle was taped up for this match, so give him credit for going out there and wrestling again while he's injured, because he put on a good showing. He was good. It was good to get Edwards a nice. It's just like I said, it's a shame Omega wasn't there, because that would have been a nice, legit win for Edwards. But still a good victory over Sonjay Dutt. To have Edwards and Sanjay go over 10 minutes, I think that's asking a little bit too much, because you really want to show that Edwards is really a step above Sanjay. So it was fine, maybe like 3 stars at the highest. All right, so after intermission, we move on to Christopher Daniels and Homicide. This was very, very. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was disappointing, because I think a lot of people kind of expected this to be kind of a blah match. I hate to say it, but this was kind of like 2 TNA has-beens just kind of going at it, and just not really delivering anything special. I hate to say it, but Christopher Daniels really needs to be in there with the superior worker to have a great match. I mean, I can't think of a match where Christopher Daniels carried someone that was mediocre to an amazing, amazing match. It just hasn't happened off the top of my head, but I mean, it was still enjoyable. Homicide hit the tope con hilo. The same thing that Davey does. So that was nice to see. Homicide, I don't know, like Homicide, just like Christopher Daniels, they're both having a tough time since they've come back to Ring of Honor. I mean, they just haven't, especially Homicide. I mean, he just doesn't seem like he has the eye of the tiger. He doesn't have that edge, the Homicide from 2003 when he was Ring of Honor's MVP. I'm just not seeing that. This had a very, very weak ending, and after the match, they started building up a prodigy. The prodigy Mike Bennett was actually on ringside watching the match, and then after the match, he was very, very disrespectful to Christopher Daniels. He said, "Hey, Daniels, very nice win, nice victory," because Daniels actually lost the match, so it was kind of an insult, kind of very, very disrespectful to Christopher Daniels. So, but I don't know. Like I said, I thought the ending was weak. I think this wasn't even better than Daniels and Aries from Glory of Honor. I don't think it even came close. So that's just my opinion about that match. But now the show becomes, the awesomeness starts to happen. Now we have the Briscoes and Papa Briscoe taking on the Kings of Wrestling and Shane Hagadorn. This was this was fun. I mean, it was fun. This wasn't really what I wanted to see. I was really, really hoping that they would restart the match, and then we finally. I was hoping Papa Briscoe and Shane Hagadorn would get ejected from the matchup, and then we get Kings of Wrestling and the Briscoes one more time, but that didn't happen. But it was fun. Papa Briscoe got a lot of heat at first. A lot of the fans were booing him. But, there were some fun tags. They did some fun things with Todd Sinclair. It was just a fun match. Shane Hagadorn's interaction was pretty good. Hero and Claudio were over like crazy, though. Hero, I don't know. I just got this. I thought Hero was insanely over, and I think both Hero and Claudio, they need to make the transition. And once this whole Kings of Wrestling thing is over, they're both ready to be, Ring of Honor World Champion. Pick and choose either guy. Either guy deserves it at this point. So, I mean, we're just in store for some awesome world title matches with both of those guys in 2011. So, that should be great. I mean, there was some good stuff. I really think Jay Briscoe is ready for a singles run. I feel like a Jay Briscoe and Homicide feud. I think that really needs to happen. I think that's probably where Homicide. That's more of the stuff that Homicide needs to do. Just feud with guys that really need the rub. And I think Jay Briscoe's the perfect guy for that, because they have some history. The Briscoes and the Homicide have history going back to 2004. So I think that's great. But not to get off topic here, this is a fun match. Papa Briscoe really got the fans on his side after Sara Del Rey actually was. She was at ringside. Once they sent her back to the locker room, referee actually sent her back. After that, Papa Briscoe got insanely over, and the ending of the match featured Papa Briscoe actually doing the Doomsday Device to pin Shane Hagadorn. So it was a fun match. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to say like a 3.5-star match. Obviously, I still think for Final Battle, this should have been a more serious matchup, Briscoes and Kings of Wrestling. But I feel like maybe they didn't want to overshadow the double main event. That's probably what they were kind of going for. All right. So next up, we have Davey Richards and Roderick Strong for the Ring of Honor Championship. I'm going to say 5 stars, and you could argue this as being the best match that has taken place all year. I really feel like that. And without a doubt, by far the best match Davey and Roderick have ever had. You know, this kind of started off slow. It was very, very slow. But I thought it made sense, though. It was a nice pace. They continually built up to a more grueling pace as the match progressed. And, you know, Davey was pretty much, you know, in control in the beginning. He really looked like the more dominant guy. But as the match went on and on and on, Roderick got stronger and just gained more confidence. And by the end of the match, you know, Roderick really, this, like I think really this match did for Roderick Strong exactly the same thing. That, you know, look back to Nigel McGuinness versus Austin Aries. You know, Nigel's big title defense over Aries. A lot of people didn't know if Nigel could be the champion. I think this match did the same thing that match did for Nigel, and really put a stamp of approval that, you know, Roderick is going to be our guy. Just like when Nigel beat Aries, like Nigel was going to be our guy for a long time. And, you know, a lot of people were probably disappointed. You know, I think a lot of people were banking on Davey Richards taking the belts at Final Battle. Pretty well documented about how much people really wanted to see it. But the bottom line is Roderick has already won the belt, and you know, he's too good just to be a transitional champion. Roderick, like I'll say it time and time again, Roderick Strong is you could argue him as being one of the top 5 Ring of Honor workers of all time. I mean, he's just that good, and I think his character is getting a lot better too. I think Truth Martini is helping him out. As much as I'm against this whole House of Truth bullshit, I think it definitely is helping Roderick out. And, you know, the other thing, people were saying that you can't have every single title change in New York City. It makes it very, very predictable, and it makes the other shows seem very less important. So I would agree with that. It was a nice change of pace to see the belt actually, you know, retained in New York City. It looks like, you know, down the road, you know, definitely you need, I think once in a while you need to have a title change at a B show. I think that'll be good for the company, and that'll be good for just the overall shows in general. So, but yeah, this match is just insane. I'm not going to break it down, you know, hold by hold or near fall by near fall, but, you know, Roderick just punched the shit out of Davey. Davey wouldn't give up. There were some awesome submissions. You know, at the time when Davey locked in the Texas Cloverleaf, you really thought Roderick was going to tap. I mean, one of the best matches of the year by far. I mean, just an awesome match. I mean, these two guys just have it. You know, they just brought it. You know, very intense. You know, this is the longest match that they had. And, yeah, so everyone needs to check it out. 5 stars, in my opinion. And next up, we'll move on to Kevin Steen and El Generico. The fight without honor. This offered so much more than just wrestling. This was just had a great story. Kevin Steen played probably the, one of the best heels I've ever seen in this match. I mean, holy shit. I mean, these two just, like we expected, you know, these two just kill each other, you know. A lot of questionable things by Steen in this match. Steen really, you know, took a lot of vicious shots to the head. You know, a lot of things that would just kind of make you cringe. He actually ripped part of Generico's mask off, so Generico was kind of exposed during the match. So that kind of left you thinking, like, Generico's already got part of his mask off. Now it looks like it's really going to happen. It looks like Generico's really going to lose the mask. But, you know, the best part of the match was, you know, Carino came out. No one knew Carino was there when Carino came out. You know, obviously started helping Kevin Steen, and then when Cabana came out, you figured, you know, Cabana was going to, you know, turn on Generico, because so many people were speculating about it. But it was just a nice tease. It was a very good tease, very well done. Everyone was like, he's going to hit Generico there. But then, boom, when he hit Steen, it was like, oh man, he didn't turn on him after all. So, a very good drama in the match. It was just, I mean, they did the table spot with, they had the ladder lined up, then they had the table on top of the ladder. Oh, I'm sorry, they had the table, yeah, the table was on top of the ladder. And I think Generico actually, it was like a body tossed Steen onto that. Steen went through the table. That was a sick spot. There's so many sick things in this match. Can't go over everything, but wow. Like, this match has so much emotion. The ending was kind of reminiscent of HBK and Flair from WrestleMania 24. You could see Generico's kind of had that change of heart. But then, you know, kind of like the opposite of, you know, Flair versus HBK. But, you know, similar to the way it was kind of set up. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, the ending was just sick with the chair shot. One of the sickest chair shots you'll ever see. So just a very, very emotional match. You know, one of the greatest main events of all time. I would say this double main event is by far the best double main event I've ever seen. I would say it even surpasses the Glory of Honor 5 Night 2 double main event. That's just my opinion. So yeah, Cena and Generico. I mean, wow. You know, I was kind of, you know, during the year, I felt like this feud was kind of dragging on a little bit too long. I really felt like that at some points because, you know, I thought, you know, bringing in Cabana, bringing in Carino, which definitely added to the feud, but at times I just felt like it was dragging just a little bit too long. But it was all worth it though, just for this match, because this match was just it was just an epic match. I mean, wow. You know, I mean, matches like this really, really prove that, you know, having storylines and having great build-up just tremendously adds to the match 100%. And it just had so much more than great wrestling. You know, just the dialogue and the interaction between Generico and Steen was just, you know, it was just golden. So, well, like I said though, like the card from top to bottom wasn't great, but I would still consider it, you know, one of the best shows of the year. You know, I feel like this show continually got better as it went on. After the opening match, I felt like it really progressed as the show went on. So I think great double main events are, you know, you can consider, you know, okay undercards with great double main events. You could consider them amazing shows, and this had an amazing double main event. And so everyone definitely check it out. You know, it was an awesome, awesome show. Definitely need to see these last two matches. I can't emphasize how great this was. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the review, and take it easy. All right.